young men with the ball at their feet. The seniors of tomorrow. They represent the future of the round ball code in Australia. Singly, just a youngster at play, but collectively, they form a vast and solid foundation to the structure of the game. Only a handful to watch them here, but this very same scene happens simultaneously on hundreds of suburban fields every weekend. In Sydney alone, over 3,000 junior teams, nearly 50,000 players, many more than any other code. Into this new world of soccer will come the mighty Manchester United. And 8-year-old Bradley Neal is one of the many who rate the famous Red Devils the greatest of them all. The tour by Manchester United has a twofold purpose: entertain the old and, more important, educate the young. And there's no better lesson than watching a champion in action. Heed then the words of a maker of champions, Manchester manager Matt Busby. From your observations while you've been here, Matt, what sort of a future do you think soccer has in this country?
Well, actually, one of the things that's quite surprised me has been the number of young boys that are playing soccer. I've seen one or two matches played before the main match, and quite impressive in a way. I think this is the only chance they have if they get it started in schools and colleges, and have every encouragement to get coaches for these boys. I think you'll do what you do in every other sport. You seem to climb at the top. So I think there's a chance. It's healthy anyway when the young boys are playing it.
Right, come on, the lot of you, go! Go, keep it up. Oh, yeah. Here, good. Get a best. Jump. Come on. Right. Oh. Come on, let's have it. Come on, Peter. Right, John. Okay. Let you go for it. Come on, John. Come on, then. Put your finger out.
Manchester United, English First Division champions. The fifth overseas team in the short space of 4 years to be brought to Australia under the sponsorship of W.D. and H.O. Wills. Manager Matt Busby is famous for his ability to recognise talent. Always, he has a soft spot for youngsters, more so if there's a touch of Red Devil about them.
Well, lad, what do you think of Manchester United?
Oh, they're pretty good.
Do you like soccer?
Of course, I'm a forward.
Ah, you know, that's a very important position. And I would have thought you were probably a bit too old for it.
I'm only 8.
Oh, well, that's all right then. A forward you are you? Have you ever heard of Dennis Law?
Yes, he's a forward. He plays for Scotland.
That's right. He also plays for Manchester United. That's him. That's him out there.
Gee, I wish I could see them play.
Well, you'd better come along then.
I can't. I've got to take Mum to a wedding in Melbourne. We're going to ride in a jet and stay at the Park Royal Motel and everything.
Well, isn't that a coincidence? We're going over there too and actually play Victoria and Melbourne next Sunday. I'll tell you what, if I try hard enough, I may find a ticket for you. There you are.
Gee, thanks. I wish I could have one for Mum too.
Well, seeing you're a genuine 8-year-old forward, I think we'll try and find a ticket for your mother. Huh? There you are.
He was the manager, Mum, and his name was Mr. Busby. And he thought I was too old to be a forward.
Yes, dear.
He didn't know I was only 8.
No, dear?
Dennis Law asked me what team I played for and if I scored any goals. Mum, do we have to go to the silly old wedding?
Yes, dear.
Can I go and see Dennis practice?
Yes, dear. I mean, no, dear.
No thoughts of the wedding now. Young Bradley, drawn by the magnetic attraction of this team, can think only of the match to come. Adopted as the team's Australian mascot, he learns that Dennis Law's injured leg has not responded to treatment, and that he can't play against Victoria. A minor disappointment, but Bradley will not change his forecast. The Red Devils to win. Off to Olympic Park, the magnificent stadium built for the Melbourne Games. This might well be the biggest crowd in the history of the ground. The capacity, 35,000, gives a warm welcome to the two teams, Manchester United and Victoria. For Manchester, the near-legendary B.Charlton will lead the team in place of the injured Dennis Law. Despite the loss of their captain, this team contains no less than 8 internationals. As a draw card, they're a promoter's dream. A record 30,000 in Brisbane, 28,000 on a wet, dismal night in Sydney, and now Melbourne fans are out in full force to see these soccer giants in close-up. And speaking of close-ups, let's meet left half N.Stiles, a fullback T.Dunne, and winger J.Aston. The air of anticipation as referee Dave Maitland starts the game. The dark-shirted Victorians have an experienced defence with a sprinkling of younger players in the forward line. With only one exception, they all played football in Britain or in Europe before migrating to Australia. Armstrong, number 10, the Manchester defence slow to marshal. He shoots, just off target there, no goal. The ground fairly buzzing with excitement. To watch them, fine. To beat them, unbelievable. G.Best, hailed as a genius. But these Victorians are no respecters of reputations. Already they've set the pattern of this match by taking the initiative. They've come out determined to match these Red Devils man for man, to try and win, to make it a game to remember. It wasn't so long ago that overseas teams ran up cricket scores in Australia. Times have changed, and these great touring sides form the yardstick now for measuring the improvement in Australian skill. B.Charlton, number 10, here in Melbourne for all to see. The master of the body swerve, perfect balance, explosive with both feet, a clever tactician, the complete football. Straight to veteran W.Schroff, a former Czech international. A sign, though, that Manchester United, in the words of M.Busby, mean business. This looks promising for Victoria, but passes must be accurate against defenders of the calibre of T.Dunne. And here's the stamp of a top-class team. Defence into attack. Aston to Charlton. Aston again. Best on the left wing. The centre, but no Dennis Law to steer it home this time. They might miss their captain, but Law isn't the only spearhead in this talented lineup. Now the Victorian defenders are realising what they're up against. Clever teamwork, smart anticipation, and lightning reflexes. Watch this effort by G.Best with no balance at all. Still, Victoria can be well pleased with a scoreless first half. During the interval, Manchester makes one change, and Kidd comes on in place of Cantwell. Victoria within range, but no real problems here for the Reds' defence. A fairly tepid Victorian attempt brings goalie A.Stepney into the game for a change. Down to the far end, with Manchester sights set on a goal. Charlton to the left. Goalie Schroff unsighted. Charlton lets fly. Goal is beaten. A goal to Manchester. B.Charlton, England's Footballer of the Year for 1966. One of the most prolific goal scorers in the history of the game. Manchester, but it took them 53 minutes to do it. Victoria, stung into action, show that the Red Devils aren't the only ones capable of fancy footwork. The locals are due for a reward for their efforts, but it comes in the most unexpected way. A seemingly harmless centre, a faulty header by Sadler, and the ball's tucked safely against the back of the net. And so, a goal to Victoria, or more correctly, a goal against Manchester. Pandemonium reigns. It's 1-1 and Manchester kick off during play for the only time on tour so far. Now the game is alive with possibilities. Even Charlton has problems against these persistent Victorians. Once again, the lack of forceful attack counts against Victoria. A team must score goals to win matches. Victoria, though excelling in defence, seem to lack striking power. The big question is, can Victoria stop Manchester scoring and hold them to a 1-1 draw? Close game, close enough for one Manchester supporter to puff with anxiety. The atmosphere has changed dramatically. Manchester are now flat out to score, flat out indeed to win. T.Dunne, number 3, an individual effort. Dunne shoots. Goalie saves. No score. Only a few minutes left now. The Victorians, despite the weekend nature of their game, are matching these full-time professionals as far as physical condition is concerned. Time only for one last raid on the Victorian goal. Kidd centres. Best. Sadler shoots, but it's over the top. Match is finished. Full marks to Victoria. A 1-1 draw. A fine match on a first-class pitch before a large and enthusiastic crowd. Congratulations to the referee, David Maitland, for his skillful and unobtrusive handling of the game. For Victoria and Manchester, a match to be remembered. From Olympic Park in Melbourne to the Showground in Sydney for the game against New South Wales. This is the match of the tour. Once again, there's a bumper crowd. New South Wales in traditional blue, and the Red Devils in disguise in white shirts. Dennis Law still on the injured list, and B.Charlton retains the captaincy. Vice-regal presentations to His Excellency the Governor of New South Wales, Sir Roden Cutler. Now the big match is on. The referee is top Sydney official Tony M.Busby. There's been a reshuffle of the Manchester forward line. B.Charlton has moved to centre forward, and he's flanked on either side by youth and brilliance. On his left, Kidd and J.Aston. On his right, D.Sadler and G.Best. New South Wales, under the captaincy of Pat Hughes, number 4, have abandoned the defensive pattern of earlier representative matches, and they hope to develop a more positive attacking game. Aston and Kidd in the move down the left wing, with Charlton hovering in midfield. Confusion between Van Blurk and goalie Corry, and signs of relief as the New South Wales defence scrambles out of trouble. Then the home team comes back in dramatic fashion. A free kick to New South Wales. Hughes, a perfect placement. Warren heads. Giacometti and goalie A.Stepney fly high. Westwater slams away, but it's no goal. The crowd are thunderstruck. But the ball had touched Giacometti's hand on the way in. A clever decision by referee Boscovich, who was in a perfect position to see the incident. The slight touch of controversy has the crowd simmering with excitement. It seems also to affect the players, and thrill follows thrill in an absorbing first half. Manchester's attraction is well known, but the spirited New South Wales team deserves at least some share of the applause. A high-speed attacking game tends to bring out a player's natural skill, and there's one young man with skill in abundance, the inimitable J.Best, number 7. Picture which deserves the caption, best in name, best in ability. A near thing, but the New South Wales defenders did well to get back in time. Play is moving quickly from one end to the other, and it'll be a stiff test of physical fitness before this match is over. Nobby style, seemingly effortless with perfect judgment. D.Sadler declines the invitation, and B.Charlton takes over. Now a soccer classic by J.Best. A thread-the-needle shot and a spectacular save. That one piece of play deserves a chapter in the textbook of the game. 4 defenders between Best and the goalkeeper, yet in 2 seconds flat, he threw them all. That was visual proof of the lesson to be learned by watching world-class players. Look at these two teams closely and compare the difference in teamwork, understanding, and the speed of execution. Best, in devastating form, is on the job again, and Cliff Van Burke has the hapless task of marking him. Long hair and lightning combined, Best admits that he enjoys making opposing players look a bit foolish. Sparkling play by Manchester, and there's no doubting their overall popularity on this Australian tour. Those who've come to see goals haven't long to wait. Sadler wins the battle, on to Aston, number 11. Clever play, Aston. It's a set-up now for a Charlton scorcher. No chance, Corry. First score to Manchester. A fitting climax to an excellent first half. New South Wales down by 1 goal and still in the match at this stage. Early second half excitement. Kidd on to Aston. Sadler racing in. His hurried left foot shot clips the upright and it just trickles out. Corry gets tremendous length with his goal kicks, and this one results in a good effort by the home team. Number 7, Joe Allegage. Fouts on to Westwater. Allegage. Giacometti on the far side. Chance for Bartz. Tipped over the bar. Fine save, A.Stepney. No goal. Sustained excitement for the crowd. This has been a great match so far, and there's much more to come. Kidd, a sizzler from 25 yards. Corry, a finger-burning save. The form of the younger players in this team should be an inspiration to anyone learning the game. Kidd, number 10, is only 17, less than 2 years out of school. Just how long will it be before he dons another white shirt for England? Elegance and Westwater combining in midfield, and it looks now as if the tremendous pace is starting to tell on the New South Wales players. The game has reached a critical point, and Manchester, almost by instinct, launch an all-out attack. And the man to start the ball rolling, G.Best. How do you stop this fella? Perhaps direct attack is the only answer. Charlton linking up with A.Stepney. Play concentrates in the New South Wales goal area, and this time the centre from Kidd is right on the spot. Centre half Brooks coming from nowhere, and it's Manchester's goal, number 2. Now the Red Devils in top gear are dominating the game. The New South Wales can't get out of their own territory. Here's the Field Marshal, B.Charlton, calling for the ball. A sure sign of trouble for New South Wales. Now let's watch an epic shot from the goalie's view. Magnificent goal. B.Charlton, what a player. Manchester 3 goals up. At last, New South Wales takes the play to the other end. No one will begrudge them at least one goal before it's all over. J.Fitzpatrick almost through with a speculator, but A.Stepney is a hard man to pass. A typical reprisal. In this unbroken sequence, count the number of saves by Corry. First, D.Sadler. G.Best. Charlton, right foot for a change. And Kidd. 4 players, 4 attempts at goal, all in the space of 1 minute and 12 seconds. 1 shot every 18 seconds. What a bombardment. With time running out, can New South Wales do the seemingly impossible, score just once before the end? A high lobbing ball. Hughes times it perfectly, and it's a goal to New South Wales. Captain Pat Hughes, the only Australian in 5 straight matches to score against Manchester. What a lift to the game in this country. That one goal proves it can be done. With only a minute left for play now, Manchester United finish the game as they started on the forward move. Kidd, a full-blooded shot, and down goes Watkiss. He's not injured, but he agrees with all of the fans that these Red Devils are a knockout. For Bradley Neal and thousands like him, this tour will remain in memory. It will kindle the fires of enthusiasm, produce the desire to do well. For in soccer, as in any other sport, the same adage applies. Where there's a will, there's a way.